We're here for you.
Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Adam Cellini. Topping our news tonight, the 4th annual Bradenton Area River Regatta with the highest expected attendance yet. Organizers making sure that all boaters and spectators stayed safe during that event, but also taking an extra precaution to make sure marine life doesn't get injured as well. ABC 7's Erica Jackson shows us why they're making that extra effort.
The boats reach speeds up to 125 miles per hour, so marine life could die if they come in contact with the boats. That's why one group is looking out for the animals from in the water, here on land, and up in the air.
The riverboat races are just, unbelievable to watch how fast they go.
Marian Galvin loves the Bradenton Area River Regatta so much, she's attended every year. She loves watching the speedboats and jet skis race across the Manatee River, but is concerned about the marine life she sees in the water regularly.
There's always dolphins and manatees that we see down here all the time.
The great part about living in Florida is how beautiful it is, and the animals are part of that. So we have to protect the animals to protect the environment.
Becky Steinreich is the lead marine observer during the regatta. She and 12 volunteers keep an eye out for marine life by going out in the water, patrolling from the Green Bridge, and flying above in a helicopter.
I always joke around, my job is staring at water, because what we're doing is we're just looking to see what's out there.
The group looks out for dolphins and manatees in the river, but say Saturday's water temperatures were too cold for the manatees. Volunteers make sure the dolphins stay at least 500 feet away from the course, or organizers will have to delay the races.
We can't do anything to move them. They have to move on their own volition. That would be considered a take. We don't interfere with the animals in any way, shape, or form.
I think life is more important than, a race. So I think the life of an animal or of anyone is more important.
Volunteers say they're also looking out for the operators of the boats by patrolling the Manatee River, because a racer could get seriously injured if their boat strikes a large animal in the water. Reporting in Bradenton, Erica Jackson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you very much, Erica. And now to an amazing story of 2 city employees who are being credited with saving the life of their coworker. It was utilities worker Brandon Johnson's second day on the job. He was riding shotgun with his coworker John Trummett, driving a utilities truck south on Orange Avenue near 12th Street in Sarasota when he noticed his coworker behaving strangely, falling backwards with his foot heavy on the gas. Johnson, pictured here on the right in this photo, acting quickly, moving his coworker's foot from the pedal and parking the truck before calling 911 and another coworker nearby. That coworker, Marvin Mo Harris, rushed to the scene, performing CPR on John, who had stopped breathing.
And out of nowhere, he just completely just stopped breathing. He was like, pause for a minute. So I immediately then, that's when I just started doing CPR on him, just pumping his chest, blowing in his mouth. I really didn't know if I was doing it correctly or anything, but it was just, I just felt that I had to do something.
The EMS crew told Mo that his quick reaction and training saved his coworker's life. John is now recovering. He plans to return to work soon. And now let's head over to Wendy Ross with a check on our First Alert weather forecast. And Wendy, just a gorgeous day out there today.
I know, we had another beautiful day. It was wonderful to be outdoors. We had a little bit of clouds, a little bit of sun, and you can see that so far the rain is staying away. So we're going to be seeing some showers a little bit later on. We're going to give you a timeline as to when that's going to be taking place. But for tonight, we are looking at mostly fair skies across the region. A little bit of clouds passing through. That's going to be about it. But we are not expecting rain. Not tonight. That's not going to be taking place. Temperatures at this hour mostly in the 60s and 70s across the region. And you can see that just about everybody is reporting mostly cloudy conditions, but we're also getting some breaks in those clouds, and that will continue throughout the overnight time period. So all the way through the morning hours, we're looking at temperatures that will stay in the low 60s. And then by the early morning time period, we could see some patchy fog developing across the region. And winds right now are mostly coming in out of the east, and we are going to let you know about the changes in our forecast that are going to be present tomorrow afternoon. That's all coming up in just a few minutes. Adam?
All right, thank you very much, Wendy. An important warning tonight for those who are active on social media. A video containing explicit content is circulating the internet and being shared, prompting warnings from law enforcement agencies across the country, including right here on the Suncoast. A graphic video showing an underage girl is being sent to Facebook users through their Facebook inbox. Authorities are alerting social media users that if you come across that video or get it sent to you, do not share it, even with law enforcement. If your intentions are good, even if your intentions are good, you could be potentially breaking the law. So instead of sharing that video, you are asked to report it to Facebook or contact your local police. Well, Super Bowl Sunday is just one day away, and as the teams get in their last practice and the fans get ready to tailgate, security is also ramping up across the city and preparing for a Level 1 national security event. A Level 1 national security event like the Super Bowl takes a force of thousands. ABC's Maggie Rulli is in Minneapolis with more on how the city plans to keep everyone safe.
Tomorrow's Super Bowl promises two things: an epic showing of die-hard fans and a massive security presence. U.S. Bank Stadium sits in the heart of downtown Minneapolis, and authorities have spent nearly 2 years planning how to protect it, using creativity and sheer manpower. Black Hawk helicopters are patrolling the skies, ready to intercept any aircraft that flies too close on game day.
We want viewers to just enjoy the day, relax, and have the state of mind that somebody's out there watching.
More than 2,000 cameras are keeping an eye on the entire city.
We have folks from the federal government, Department of Energy, FBI.
Inside the multi-agency command center, authorities are watching what's happening at the stadium, fan zones, and all across Minneapolis and St. Paul. There's more than 60 local law enforcement agencies, 1,700 federal agents, 10,000 volunteers, even elite canine units have been brought in from across the country.
For everything that has gone into this planning, I feel very confident that we will have a safe Super Bowl.
Authorities say all of this extra security is not meant to scare fans, and there is no credible threat against the game. Rather, they just want to make sure people feel safe and go have some fun. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Yeah, it was a big day for the city of Venice today. Crowds lining the streets downtown to celebrate Venice's 2017 football state championship and the girls volleyball 2017 state championship.
It's definitely a great feeling, you know, having like this giant parade for us. It's really something special, you know. Accomplishing like everything that we did as a team is just really something to be proud of.
It's just an amazing feeling. It's just such a great accomplishment. You know, it's just really a blessing.
The Venice High volleyball team won the state title in November with a win over Tallahassee Leon. It was the school's 5th state volleyball title. And the Venice High School football team won their state title in December, just a month later, with a 37-24 victory over St. John's Bartram Trail. It's the school's 2nd state football title in program history. Well, in the spirit of football, Nate's Honor Animal Rescue in Manatee County was among several shelters across the country hosting an adorable football game, the Puppy Bowl 2018. It was Team Rescue Me versus Team Adopt Me in that big game today. All the players, along with the referee and cheerleader that you could see in there, coming from the same litter born just about 8 weeks ago. That game quickly devolved into who could just keep their eyes open the longest, but as you can see, those puppies helping draw some much needed attention, and some even finding their forever home after that final whistle blew. What did you think of her performance in the Puppy Bowl today?
She thought it was halftime the whole time.
Our whole goal is to get as many dogs off the sidelines and onto a comfy couch for the Super Bowl. So we're really trying to get as many animals adopted today as possible.
Well, mission accomplished for Nate's. They had 28 adoptions at the end of their doors closing on Saturday, including every single one of those puppies who ended up on the field today. And that was the goal, wasn't it? Well, still to come here on ABC 7, the race for State House seat 72 in the district special election heating up. A look at the candidates' efforts as early voting begins. Plus, have plans in Sarasota Sunday morning? Well, the crucial changes to traffic you won't want to miss.
Coast Guard, we are taking on water.
The United States Coast Guard. They secure our ports and waterways, protect our environment, keep drugs away from our kids. and save lives. It's dangerous work. And in times of triumph or tragedy, the Coast Guard Foundation answers the call to support Coast Guard members and their families. Learn more at coastguardfoundation.org.
Mark Zupan, part of the U.S. Paralympic rugby team. In my game, movement is everything. I get frustrated when my move is blocked, especially when that guy has no right to be there, even just for a minute. I love a challenge, but I don't like to play this game every day.
A message from the United Spinal Association.
Everyone likes the 2018 Honda Civic for $169 a month. You made Civic the best-selling compact car in America. You'll like Civic's 5-star safety ratings and that KBB.com named Civic a best buy and the most awarded car. Get the 2018 Civic at a payment you'll love. $169 a month today at your local Honda dealer.
Honda, I like it. Oh yeah, I like it.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind Your Meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first. I will never accept defeat. I will never quit. I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at nationalguard.com.
Well, one day after President Trump decided to declassify that controversial memo written by Republican staff of the House Intelligence Committee, reactions from both sides of the aisle has been swift. ABC's Daria Albinger brings us more on that memo and how both of those sides are responding.
Despite being far away from the maelstrom whipping Washington over the release of that GOP written memo, President Trump today doubling down, tweeting from Mar-a-Lago, this memo totally vindicated Trump in probe, but the Russian witch hunt goes on and on. The memo's chief proponent also weighing in.
I've been saying this for a year now, that there was no evidence of collusion.
Democrats are pushing back.
The goal was simply to get a misleading piece of information before the public, help support the president, help discredit the Mueller investigation and the FBI.
And today, the ranking Democrat on the Judiciary Committee offering a rebuttal to fellow House Democrats critical of the Nunes memo. The controversial memo focuses almost entirely on a narrow aspect of the Russia investigation, a warrant to monitor the communications of Carter Page, a former Trump campaign foreign policy advisor. According to the memo, the application for that warrant relied in part on information from a dossier on Russia meddling and the Trump campaign written by former British spy Christopher Steele. The memo claims the secretive court that approved the warrant was never told the dossier was paid for in part by the Democratic National Committee and the Clinton campaign. Experts say it would be extremely unlikely the dossier was the only evidence for the warrant.
You have to have layers and layers of corroboration to get both the FBI, the Department of Justice, and the judge to sign a wiretap order. So the idea that it was just based on a dossier is just silly.
Democrats fear the president will use the memo as an excuse to fire Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, who endorsed the continued eavesdropping of Page in order to side rail the Russia investigation. Daria Albinger, ABC News, New York.
Well, the race to replace a local state house seat kicked off this morning. Early voting starting on Saturday for the State House 72 special election. Republican James Buchanan, Democrat Margaret Good, and Libertarian Party candidate Allison Foxall all on that ballot to fill Republican Alex Miller's vacant seat. All three of those candidates were out canvassing on Saturday. Good alongside a fellow Democrat and gubernatorial candidate Gwen Graham, and Buchanan with a myriad of supporters out knocking on doors. Even Foxall invited voters to come out and cast their ballots with her on that first day of voting.
It's been going great. The reception has been so positive in the community. They're so happy that I'm running.
We had a great canvas launch with about 100 volunteers, and we all left and went out knocking. I've been knocking on doors for the past couple of hours.
Early voting polls will be open at 3 locations in the county every day from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. The Supervisor of Elections Office, North Sarasota Library, and Westfield Sarasota Square Mall are those 3 locations. And early voting will end next Saturday, 3 days before the election on February 13th. Well, drivers, pay attention. If you're making plans for tomorrow morning in Sarasota, you might want to give yourself some extra time. The Sarasota Music Half Marathon will be causing several lane closures in the downtown area. That race is 13.1 miles long and travels from the Van Wezel Performing Arts Hall, goes over the Ringling Bridge to St. Armand Circle, back past Marina Jack's Bayfront Marina, then heads into some area neighborhoods. For a complete list of those lane closures, you can check out our website, mysuncoast.com. And that will kick off in the morning. And Wendy, what are they looking at?
They're going to love it because temperatures are going to be in the low 60s, and we're just going to have a little bit of cloud cover around. We're not going to be getting the rain until later in the day, so it's going to be a perfect morning to have a run.
Sure, maybe some gloves or hats we might see out there if they're in the low 60s.
I mean, like low 60s.
If you grew up in Florida, you might be rocking those.
Yeah, I know I would have those on. That's absolutely true. Well, we had a beautiful day today. Really, we had a mixture of clouds and sun throughout the day, and a lot of times we had a lot of sun that kind of broke through those clouds, and then during the evening hours we had a beautiful sunset once again tonight with those clouds really showing off how beautiful it is during the nighttime hours here. Right now we're looking at temperatures at 70 degrees at the airport. We have 56 degrees for Dew Point, and the winds are coming in out of the east at around 11 miles per hour. And as you can see, we've got some cooler temperatures right here at the beaches, and then as soon as you move onshore, we're looking at a lot of 70s nearby, and then you move farther inland and temperatures back up into the upper 60s. But here's the thing that's going to be taking place over the next 24-hour period. We're going to start to see our dew points moving up, and when the dew point moves up, that means there's more moisture in the air, and that means that our chances for rain become a little bit greater. And the other thing that we're going to be noticing is that the winds are going to start to get a little stronger. We've got some fog that will be moving in throughout the overnight time period, and it'll be around during the morning hours. Tomorrow, some patchy fog, and the winds are going to start to kick up in advance of a cold front that's going to be making its way across and moving down the state. And so the winds are going to be coming in out of the south. That's going to help to warm us up. And right now, things are quiet. We're looking at partly cloudy skies across the region. We've seen some light rains down to our south. That's because of a cold front that came on through yesterday or throughout the day. And what we saw is it's now moved down to the south, and it helped to bring our temperatures down a little bit last night and into the morning hours this morning. But right now we're looking at partly cloudy skies, and it's all about to change. Here's that low pressure system, and we've got a trailing cold front. In advance of that low, we've got the winds coming in that will help to make things a little bit warmer for tomorrow. We're going to see some warmth, and then we see that cold front moving on down the state, and high pressure will help to push those clouds out of the way during sometime on Monday. But here it is for the hourly time period. This is what we can expect to see. Those showers will be coming on through the panhandle of Florida during the early morning hours. We're going to see them moving on through, moving east of Tallahassee, and then that cold front is going to help to move those showers down over the southern part of the state. And so we'll see the rains coming on in here beginning at around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and it will continue all the way through 7 and 8 o'clock and maybe even 9 o'clock at night before it finally pushes on down through the state, and we're going to be left with partly cloudy to cloudy skies throughout the nighttime hours on Monday night into the early morning hours, and we are also going to be looking at some cloudy weather on Monday. So that's the way things are shaping up over the next 24-hour period. If you're heading off to the beach, winds will start out of the southeast, shift around to the south, and the temperature at the beach is about 75 degrees with the opportunity for some showers and thunderstorms. We've got partly cloudy skies for most of the night. Our overnight low will be 58 degrees, but over the next several days, a 70% chance of afternoon showers on Sunday. And then after that, it's going to be beautiful. Temperatures back up into the mid to upper 70s for most of the work week. It's going to be beautiful, and we don't get the rain again until next weekend. Adam, what is it? It's every weekend we're getting these showers.
Now, sports.
Well, for just $3,000, even you can attend tomorrow's Super Bowl. The cold weather in Minneapolis doing nothing to cool off ticket prices for Super Bowl 52. The cheapest ticket on StubHub as of Friday was just under $3,000. The average fans are spending is about $5,300, and the most expensive seats sold so far closer to $22,000. The ticket broker says they're surprised to see such high prices after the Eagles beat the Minnesota Vikings, who would have been the first team ever to play a Super Bowl at their home stadium.
We've seen a lot of demand for Super Bowl this year on StubHub. In fact, we're up near 30 to 40% year over year in terms of sales. So we've been surprised, frankly.
We'll kick off for tomorrow's championship game between the Patriots and Eagles will start around 6:30 p.m. Most betting odds have the New England Patriots as about a 4-point favorite over Philadelphia. Sarasota High School has found a new coach to captain their ship. The Sailors snagging up Spencer Hodges, a former assistant at Braden River High School. Hodges served as the tight end and running back coach for the Pirates since 2016. Before Braden River, he was an offensive line coach and run game coordinator at IMG Academy in Bradenton. Hodges starts his new job on Monday. The Sailors finished 5-6 last year under Brian Riles, who stepped down following the season. Sarasota plays in the same district as Venice High School, the reigning 7A state champions. More to come here on ABC 7. Stay with us.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Join ABC 7 at the all-new 2018 edition of Circus Sarasota. Ovation under the big top at Nathan Benderson Park behind the mall at UTC. Friday, February 9th through Sunday, March 4th. All opening weekend tickets are 20% off, courtesy of ABC 7. To purchase your discount tickets, visit circusarts.org. The Circus Sarasota box office at the Big Top, or call 941-355-9805.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
All right, crew, let's get started. All right.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator. There was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs. Stop the crimes.
Watch Good Morning Suncoast on ABC7, weekdays starting at 5.
Actress Uma Thurman is speaking out about her experiences with Harvey Weinstein. In an article published in the New York Times opinions section, Thurman claims Weinstein made unwanted sexual advances against her during the 1990s. She also says that rejecting those advances impacted her relationship with director Quentin Tarantino. Weinstein's representative said in a statement that he denies physically assaulting her. Well, there's a new king in the race to build the biggest, baddest zip line. Officials from Guinness certifying a brand new zip line in the United Arab Emirates as the longest run in the world. Thrill seekers will reach speeds up to 93 miles per hour as they careen down that 1.7 mile long zip line, and all it takes and it all takes place a mile in the sky with nothing but jagged rocks beneath.
Oh, and that's
in case you were okay with the 98 miles per hour and all that.
That still looks like fun,
Hope
though,
you're wearing a
doesn't it?
motorcycle helmet when you're going down there.
Oh,
Couldn't
you
miss.
have to. I'm sure they've got you so well harnessed in. Oh, my
Yeah,
goodness.
maybe.
Oh, my
Hey, you should
goodness.
try it out and let us know.
Yeah, it's going to be nice tonight if you're heading out the door. 61 degrees. That's jacket weather, right? Yeah.
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service. It's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.